I'm tired.
Spike.
Expect nothing. I'm Spike.
I'm Kel. I'm also tired, but I have work to do, so I'm gonna be productive. Uh,
I'm Amanda. I'm also tired, and I went to the doctor to find out why.
What'd the doctor tell
I
you?
don't know yet. It takes days to get blood work back.
I suppose that's true.
They're
um,
testing my thyroid, they're testing my vitamins, they're testing some other shit I forgot.
you
Ooh.
know what anime comes out soon?
I know nothing. What?
The Pluto anime comes out soon.
Nice.
I've been meaning to read that
Very,
manga for 1,000 years and I
it's
haven't
it's
yet.
a good manga.
Kel, give me
And
manga.
there is it's good. It's good manga.
The
Give
only
me.
manga I care about is Skate Maids.
It's not a manga, is it?
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Oh, when did it become a manga?
The guy has been coerced into making an extremely silly manga, and I enjoy it.
Okay.
I am reading it in Japanese just to teach myself more Japanese.
I see, I see, I see. Oh yeah, I
For
should tweet.
folks who don't know, there is a guy on Twitter. If you just search
We
skate
we
maids,
we
you will
we
find
talked
him.
about this
Yeah.
a few episodes ago.
We did?
But he
I
does
don't
have a
remember.
manga and it is available in Japanese. And I like to go through it a couple of pages a day and try and do like a cold read and figure out what it says. And then go back to the bits I didn't know. And then once I figured it all out, read it out loud to myself. And that is part of my Japanese lessons because, and this is not a read, this is not an insult. It's a very simplistic manga. So it's very good for that. It is the exact
Um,
opposite of Monster.
no, Pluto is what's coming out. So, but
Oh,
still the
it's
exact opposite.
very much the exact opposite of Pluto and Monster. But yeah, it's
Um,
cute. If you want something
Hello.
really, really light, you'll probably like it. It's just, here's a world where fucking, if you're a maid, you have to shred. You have to be fucking incredible on the skateboard. You have to just like it's fucking nothing. There, that's the premise. Don't think about it. Just read.
um, I've been catching up on a lot of TV shows. So I rotate whatever streaming thing I have.
Hmm.
Um, and because I finished watching Atlanta and Reservation Dogs, I have now paused Hulu and have turned Netflix back on.
By the way, hello
Um,
nudist. Thank you for coming.
so I'm catching up on all of my Netflix shows.
Oh
Um,
god, I've been so bad about Netflix. I subscribe to Netflix and I subscribe to Crunchyroll and I don't watch fucking dick on either. And I'm like paying all this fucking money and I'm not watching it.
that's why I rotate them because it forces me to be like, all right, I need to finish all these
That's
before
a
I
good
switch to
idea.
the next
Yeah.
one.
I should do that.
Um,
Yeah. You
and
know
then
what?
by the time I turn it
Netflix?
back on, there's a whole bunch of stuff for me to watch.
I steal my family's Netflix and they haven't kicked me off yet, and I don't know why, but I'm not going to look a gift horse
I
in the
have to
mouth.
say I'm very surprised that you can steal your family's
Yeah,
Netflix
I
Oh
don't
because
no
get
no
it.
no!
they're
They were just probably charging Amanda's family for
oh,
that.
oh, oh,
My family hasn't noticed anything. But then again, that's my family. No, no, no,
Yeah, like they
yeah.
might not notice that they're getting charged. So like
Oops.
they're not saying that you can't do that. They're
Yeah.
saying they're going to charge you per extra.
Yeah, this is what
I
I've heard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
So they might kick you off in the future, or they might be like, "Oh, can you give us some money to pay your portion of Netflix?"
Yeah. Hello there. We've noticed you're a thief,
But
Uh,
next week I was telling you, Kellen Spike, something I want to start next week is I want to, because I have a strong aversion to watching movies for like 2 hours at a time, and so many
Mhm.
movies are 2 hours long. I want to start getting through my movie list and watching things in like 30 or 40 minute increments, because I turn them into episodic things. Like, because I hate it unless it's something I'm super into and enthralled by.
Uh-huh.
The urge to just get up and leave is too strong.
I understand that though.
Amanda, that'll really help you if we start to do our movie thing ever again.
Yeah.
Because one of the movies on there is 2001 Space Odyssey, and I feel like that might be a movie that if you tried to watch it all in one go, you'd fall asleep.
Yes.
Uh, it's very pretty, but it's like a lot of visuals and not a whole lot of dialogue, and a
Well,
lot of like,
the
here's
other
a
thing I'm
visual that's
doing.
for symbolism rather than like
Well, the other
whatever's
thing I'm
going
doing
on.
is like I can't watch anime unless I'm on my bike.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
maybe I could do that for certain things, but maybe biking and Space Odyssey wouldn't jive well.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe it. Like I said, it's a lot of visuals, but also a lot of those visuals are more symbolic. So you wouldn't necessarily need to follow the plot really strongly.
It just depends. Like if I like the visuals and I get enthralled, like it might be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will fall asleep if I'm just not engaged.
Mm-hmm.
But there are plenty of movies that are just pretty and don't have a plot, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here for
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Like I rewatched the other there's so many things I won't watch, but then there's the things I will watch, and I rewatched the Raggedy Ann movie. It's good. I'll fight you.
I could just giggle. I'm a loud, free fucking country.
It's a fucking Richard Williams jam.
It's
good.
No
It's good.
judgment, but simultaneously.
But why? But why?
No, it's fine.
No,
It's fine.
but why?
This is not me yucking
Why
your
the
yum. It's
cackle?
fine.
Why the
'Cause
cackle?
I remember that movie and I do not like it. That's why.
Oh, that's fair. You're allowed not to like it. I'm just like, but why are you cackling?
Oh, Nudist is saying I signed up for HBO Max specifically to watch the Gremlin cartoon. Today I learned there's a Gremlins cartoon.
There's a Gremlins cartoon? Well, yeah, here we are.
I also am just learning this now. So, HBO Max is another thing I need to turn on eventually. Because the gay pirates are back.
Oh, Our Flag Means Death?
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned today, as long as we're sharing things we fucking learned, I learned Audible credits expire.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
I know that because Audible harasses me, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that seems like kind of a fucking ripoff.
I mean,
it does take a while, but still.
I just don't think they want you to hoard them forever.
I think that's my fucking right. I pay for them. Yeah. See, the thing is, like, okay, so, long story short, I subscribed to Audible a million years ago. I like to just sort of audiobook while I play games, while I work, while I am lying inert on the couch wishing I was dead. There's just a lot of really good reasons to play games. And listen to audiobooks. And while I am listening to, and sometimes I fall behind. And so when I say I've been subscribed to Audible for a while, I listen to audiobooks regularly, but I have managed to accumulate something in the neighborhood of 18 credits. And I save them for, shit I want to read. I don't just spend them willy-nilly. And for a while there, I stopped checking in on how many credits I had. And then I checked in recently because there is a Ian M. Banks book I keep waiting for them to make a fucking audiobook of, but they still haven't. And I had a notice at the top of my screen, and it was just, your credits will expire if you don't hurry up and do what we say. And I was like, what the fuck? You can't do that to me. I paid for that shit. But apparently they can.
Yeah.
That's why digital media is a scam.
Digital media is a fucking scam. We've all been scammed. It's a scam, everybody. Yep. It sucks. It's a scam.
That's why if I find that there's a TV show or a movie that I just keep rewatching on streaming over and over again, I will just go buy the Blu-ray, because even though I'm probably never gonna really take it out of the Blu-ray case that it came in, if it ever becomes not available on the internet, I want it.
The next time, one of the things on my shopping list for the next time I get one of my larger paychecks, one of the freelancer things where you get the 2 paychecks a year that you coast off of, I want to get a DVD burner and writable DVDs and just start being like, because some things people just you can't buy. You can't buy it. It's like, I will happily buy this DVD or Blu-ray. Oh, you're not going to make it? Well, fuck you, I'll make it, and then I'll have it. Don't tell the cops. None of you tell on me.
I do what I want, actually.
Do you want to tell on me?
Always.
Do you want to narc on me?
Snitches get stitches, Spike.
I fucking double dog dare y'all.
Oh, Spike. Oh, honey. You haven't been very active in a while. I think I could push you and run.
Oh, please. I could step on you.
You could try, but I think I'm a little faster than you
Spike,
right now.
Yeah, you were like 4'11".
I am
Spike,
not 4'11". I am 5'2". I have so few inches. You can't steal them
all
from
right,
me.
Spike. I am both taller than you and have been hitting the gym, so
And I'll push you
I'll
over and
crush
sit
you
on
both.
you, and you'll be dead in minutes.
How dare you? I have
Nope.
so few inches, and you dare to steal them from me. How dare you? Come on, aren't you like a single inch taller than me?
That is extremely. I'm 5'4" and you're 5'2".
I think that's all your hair. You can't measure your hair. You can't include
Not
your
anymore.
hair.
You see my hair. I've dreaded it back up. Now that I don't, it's not gonna be
It's
full
still-
of dog hair.
It still stacks up there. You can't count that.
Yeah, by the way, if I'm in the mood to flatter myself, everybody. Oh, hi, Kristen. Hi, Nightingale. Hi, Bird Wizard. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
I have
when I-
Onion Knight in my chat. Hi, Onion Knight.
Yeah, I just want to say, if I'm in the mood to flatter myself, if you folks want to know what I look like these days, download RimWorld, and then get a mod called Save Our Ship, and you'll see the character that's called the storyteller of that mod. I basically have her haircut. I have a dreadhawk that I wear to one side, and I am.
This is a really weird way to promote that game.
Yeah, I have a dreadhawk flipped to one side, and I'm a big fan of it, and I like the way it looks.
very
and I'm
cute.
thinking of putting some more. Oh, thank you, Amanda.
It's very cute.
I'm thinking of putting some
I got
more
to
little
see you
silver
in
beads
person for once recently.
For once. Yes, I emerged from the cave.
It was very nice. You should do it more often.
I emerged.
Do
I
it more often,
emerged.
Spike.
Never. Going outside is a scam.
No, we had fun.
We did. We did things. I bought you weed.
You don't have to tell everyone that. You don't have to tell everyone that.
Spike, if you keep sharing these secrets, Amanda will say who you were talking to before.
Anyway.
No, here's the thing.
Don't go spilling other people's secrets if you don't want your secrets spilled.
Here's the thing. I don't mind that you tell people you bought me weed. The problem is every time you keep telling people, it sounds like I made you do it or something.
No, it was, I treated, because here's the thing about me. I am a massive voyeur. I'm extremely nosy, and I don't smoke. So the thing is, I have been wanting to see one of the insides of Chicago's like legal dispensaries for a while, but it feels kind of shitty and lame to
just
like
go
in and not buy anything and just ogle like I'm a fucking tourist from like Iowa. I don't want to be that person.
I go in and I buy nothing.
You could have, Spike, you have a great excuse to go in, which is to say, I am a local publisher and I have a book called How Do You Smoke a Weed? Would you be interested in maybe selling some copies? Like,
we have tried that so many fucking times.
I'm just saying that that's a valid reason to go into a weed shop if you didn't want to come off as a voyeur.
You're not wrong.
Have you offered to like put posters up?
We don't have posters.
I can make them.
We have standees. I'm just honestly, How Do You Smoke a Weed is one of those things where it's way harder to sell than I thought it ever would be.
What? I guess it depends on where you are, because there are.
Yeah.
There have been shows where you sent too few, and I was like, you fool.
Yeah.
You fool.
Yeah, and then it's like there are times where I'm just like, wow, why is this slow? This makes no sense.
It just has to be in front of the right people is the thing.
I am gonna get Rickett.
You have to find that. You have to find people in that very specific time frame where they're interested in weed, but have not gotten into it yet.
No. So, that's not true.
Matt, get the fuck out of here. Get out.
That's not true, because there. Again, as someone who sells these books at conventions, I can tell you there's several demographics. One, there's the people who really enjoy weed. They're like weed lifetimers, and they're just charmed by the novelty of like, I like that this exists. Yes. They just want to have it because it's nice. It's not something they have. And then there's the other people like, oh, I have a friend I can give this to. Like they are also weed lifetimers, and they are like, oh, I have a weed baby friend. I can give this to
Weed
them.
enjoyers. But this is actually making me think, like, I don't know, maybe it's like the troll in me, but to this day, I always remember and treasure whenever I'm at a con, I'm behind a table, I got the books on there, and someone comes up and picks up a book, whether it's Smut Peddler or How to Smoke a Weed, and they are instantly scandalized and put it down very quickly as if someone's going to wrap their knuckles with a yardstick and then run away. And people are probably sitting in the chat now going, that doesn't fucking happen. It happens.
Have
that
I
happens.
ever told you, Spike, about my favorite interaction selling someone a smut peddler?
No.
I was at Anime Boston, and there was a mom who, whenever I see someone with a little kid, I do say, hey, I have kid-friendly comics, because there's so few kid-friendly things that even if they aren't interested, they'll usually at least stop to look. So I told them about the fairy tale books, and the way I usually do it is the fairy tale books are up front, so kids can touch them. But then
Right.
like the smut peddler was on the top shelf of my little display. And so the kid is kind of interested, but not really. And then the mom sees Smut Peddler.
Oh, fuck it, I'm getting high now.
And they ask what Smut Peddler's about. And I say that it's classy porn for classy ladies. And they paused for a minute and then like took their kid and like pointed to like the table that was a few tables away from mine and be like, oh, look at those cool toys that they got over there. So the kid like rushes over to go look at the toys, and then she buys the smut peddler.
Mom deflection, it's an important skill.
See,
Also,
that's why
Matt
when I
is
was
in I was just going to say that just for folks who are new here may not know, I'm being mean to Matt because I'm married to him. And this is
that
is
rando in the chat,
not...
we hate him. No, that's
yeah, I'm being shitty to him because he's my husband and I love him. And he is in Delaware right now. So he is just leaning into
So you
here.
miss him.
The melodious sound of my fucking voice. That's why he's here, for my melodious bell-like tones.
But yeah, when I was selling my own stuff at shows, I always would raise the titty times kind of high up, love me nices sort of in the middle, and at the very bottom, kid eye level, I had so many stickers. And if a kid showed interest, if a kid looked like they were under like 10, free sticker. You got a free sticker, because there's not enough of them for that to really eat into your like profits. There's not enough kids that small. But you give a kid that small a sticker, especially if they're like 5-ish, and they'll hold it and stare at it and walk away while looking at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Those
Everything is very special at that age.
Yeah, so that's a really great way to distract a child. It's just to go, hey, free sticker, this one's yours. And
oh my
like,
god, and if the sticker has like fucking glitter or puffy parts,
yeah. If it's shiny.
Oh my god. That's all they need. Remember, this makes it, there was a comic, a web comic I saw like 1,000 years ago during like kind of the original golden age of web comics, where people were like, what the fuck's a tapas? What the fuck's a webtoon? And it was a comic that just showed a fish, a newly hatched fish, just swimming around, and it had like these giant eyes, and it was like looking at rocks and ocean slime and seaweed and garbage, like a bike that had been thrown into the river, and it was just looking at them all like, wow. And it just had the caption, the world is still amazing to a baby fish. And it's like, yeah, the world is amazing to a baby fish, no matter how shitty and awful it is.
But yeah,
oh no, Kristen, Matt Sheridan is in Delaware because he's leaving me. He's leaving me for someone like way hotter and nicer.
This is gonna make Dungeons and Dragons night really awkward.
Someone way hotter and nicer.
I'm afraid to say, Spike, if Matt leaves you, I'm still gonna play Dungeons and Dragons with him.
Matt remembers the comic better than I do. It was a tadpole, not a baby fish. The world is still amazing to a tadpole. Matt's leaving me for someone who won't pinch him.
Well, maybe stop pinching him.
No.
If you know these things.
If he doesn't want to be pinched, maybe he shouldn't be so fucking pinchable.
Oh fuck, I'm a lightweight. Let me put this away.
reminds me of, there was once like a online article that was titled "My wife divorced me because I wouldn't do the dishes,"
Oh
or because I didn't do the dishes.
Wow.
Well, see, that's the clickbait headline.
Oh, okay.
And it was really about, he realized the unfair expectation of gendered like housework and labor and blah blah blah
Mhm.
so yes, his wife left him because he didn't do the dishes, but it's like that was a symptom of a larger problem. Like, so like it was kudos to him for being aware of that. It was just like that was the clickbaitiest headline of
Yeah.
like
Matt, shut up.
Ew, not in my. I'll ban you. Not in my chat. Not. I control the YouTube channel.
And just
I
in
will
case,
ban
just so
you.
everyone's nausea is at maximum, we have been
No.
married like
No.
fucking 20 years.
I'm gonna set fire to
um
something.
Spike, I just put in my Google, my wife left me because I didn't do the dishes. Like
Uh-huh.
I put in my wife left me and it auto-filled because I left dishes by the sink.
I leave dishes by the sink.
Um but yeah,
Yeah. Matt, you gotta come home so I can cook for you, so I can make you like steak
Stop
and
it.
mashed potatoes
Some
and
of us
stuff.
are lonely. You're not allowed to do that.
My love language is cooking, and I've
Spike,
been
give
thinking
me a steak.
You're not allowed to be happy around me. How dare you?
of
How
I
dare
need to get
you?
you a steak and mashed potatoes and like some
I might
Chinese
have made
style
a mistake.
greens. And you have to eat the greens. That's important.
No, I refuse.
Matt always says he's gonna eat the greens, and then it's like they don't get eaten unless like hide them in sauces.
I don't
Like
like cooked veggies.
my husband is in his 40s. He needs to eat his fucking greens.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Don't encourage him. He needs to eat his greens. That's why I make fried rice so often, so I can like chop up like guy lamb and broccoli and shit in there. There, you're gonna eat your fucking greens.
You're not allowed to talk.
No one's
As of right
commenting on that.
now,
Yeah.
no one's
Oh,
allowed to talk about food.
oh, really?
Okay.
I'm cutting you off.
Let's
Because
talk
one
about
last thing, one
how
last thing.
no food talk.
Why not?
Indigenerds just funded. It's great.
Woo! Yeah,
If
everyone
you
go
don't
and back your
know
pet.
about Indigenerds, you should go back it. We just added a bunch of cool pin add-ons.
We did. They were designed by Alina Pete and Raven John and Jordana, excuse me, Jordana George. I know too many
Yep.
Joannas, so I get fucked up. And they are enamel pins. They're like an inch and a half. They're going to be hard
I
enamel.
am looking at what ones are selling because it
Oh,
tells you how many people bought each
yeah.
add-on.
Yeah, you can peek.
Indigenerds Pride Feather is the clear front runner for most popular
I am
pins.
not surprised to hear that. It's a very all-purpose one. It's a very general one. Everyone likes it.
I do
And
like Vaporwave Eagle. I don't know
I
why more
love
people
fucking
aren't jumping
Vaporwave
that.
Eagle. Just the name Vaporwave Eagle, and you can just put it on
I
your
don't know why
jacket.
more people aren't jumping on that one.
That's what they called me back in the war.
Vaporwave
Vaporwave
Eagle.
Eagle.
But yeah, everybody, like all Iron Circus anthologies,
It's a pinned tweet. I mean, a pinned comment on the YouTube chat.
Yeah. Like all Iron Circus anthology projects, when you back the crowdfund directly, you end up paying the creators directly. It pads their page rates. And when you do that, they make more money. They get, honestly, I've put out anthologies that pay Marvel rates. And that's all due to people backing the crowdfund. So if you're interested in like learning about indigenous nerds and how indigenous culture interfaces with modern culture and that sort of thing, maybe getting a few pins, go ahead and back that on BackerKit. It would be very much appreciated. And we just added add-ons so you could like
Chat, I told
get
you
an
not
extra
to talk about
copy of
food.
Indigenerds or
Yeah.
Bannable offenses.
You can also get Woman in the Woods, which is an anthology I helped organize.
Yes. As an add-on, you can get Woman in the Woods, which is the one that was probably the weirdest anthology we ever we ever funded, not because it's like inherently bizarre. It's a collection of folk tales that's like safe for like middle grade readers, but it kind of exploded. And it was we've been calling it, that's our lightning in a bottle project, because it's like Lackadaisy, we knew that was going to be big, but nobody launched Woman in the Woods going, yeah, this is going to make $250,000, no problem. Like, no one fucking
It
thought that.
really helped that we had that set of the whole series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think,
I
yeah,
I think that was a big factor for why it made so much.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sort of, here's the thing. When you run a bunch of crowd funds, and not to be too like in the weeds with this shit, but
it's also, I think, like it took Indigenous a little bit longer than usual for our anthologies to get goal. And that's because it's a cheaper book.
Oh yeah.
So I think like in the future, if we can think of big bundles like that, it might be good to have those in there from the get-go.
Yeah, that's something I think a lot of people, when they do crowdfunds, don't account for.
Yes, that's
like,
where I was
why
going.
isn't this not funding? It's like, no, it will fund. It's just gonna look slower because like it's a cheap. It is. You're selling a $10 book.
Yeah, and
There's
that's
nothing
again,
wrong with that, but it's gonna take a while for $10 purchases to add up to 10,000.
Yeah, I think that's again a thing. Like when you do a certain number of crowd funds, you get to understand how things get where they get. And one of them is like people. I get a lot of people like, "How did you do that with Lackadaisy?" And when people ask that, what they're asking for is like, "What's the up, down, left, right, BA start?"
Yeah, how can I copy that? How can I replicate that success?
And
what is the cheat code?
Yeah, exactly. And the answer is there is no cheat code. I've been running crowdfunds for like fucking 15 years. I have a mailing list of 50,000 people that gets an email every time I launch something. I've never failed to fulfill a crowdfund. And the Lackadaisy crowdfund, if you click through, it's got like $400 backer levels. That's how it got to 2 million. And if you are running like your zine crowdfund, and the zines are $8 a piece, and you have a mailing list of 300 people, it is extremely unlikely you will get similar results. And that has got nothing to do with quality, although Lackadaisy is very high quality. It's got everything to do with track record, everything to do with experience, everything
also,
to do with having established yourself.
Lackadaisy also had something a lot of book crowdfunds don't have, and that's like a pre-established audience.
Oh yeah, a massive pre-existing audience. Yeah. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I have the answer, but you don't want to hear it. It's okay, step one, do this for 15 years and establish a reputation
I remember,
of fulfilling your project.
I remember one time when I was on like the third Cautionary Fables book, I had someone ask me, how do you get artists to work for you and like do all this stuff? And they did not like my answer, which was pay them.
Yeah. That's, I tried to organize so many anthologies before I actually, got my anthology train on the tracks and rolling. And this was pre-crowdfund. And I think a thing that has been really lost in the weeds is that pre-crowdfund, pre-Kickstarter, anthologies in the small press explicitly did not pay. Like they just didn't. Period. There was, if you asked what's the page rate on the small press anthology, people would look at you like you had three heads. Because what the accepted way of doing things was, because there was so little money in it, was you contributed your pages for free and you got a certain amount of copies. And then you were expected to go and sell those at conventions. And that's how you got paid for your anthology contribution. And that was just how it was done. And that's how I tried to run them. And it was just, it did not fucking work out, like at all. People would flake, and because quite frankly, we live in a capitalist hell, and people need to make money, and people
every episode,
and people need to fucking survive, and so they're going to prioritize paying work over, work that's not paying. And the key to being prioritized is to be paid work.
Speaking of, we live in a capitalist hell.
No.
Yes. One of the things I've been watching on Netflix is an anime that is basically, the thesis statement of this anime is that a zombie apocalypse is better than late stage capitalism.
Fair enough.
Because the main character works at like a shitty job that like eats up all his time, and he like wakes up, goes to work, goes home from work at like 10 p.m. because he's worked so much overtime, is completely horribly burnt out, and then he finds out the zombie apocalypse has happened, and his first thought is, I don't have to go to work anymore. And
Yeah,
it makes him realize just how unhappy he was the 3 years he worked at that awful company. And so he's basically like, he is assuming that he will eventually get eaten by zombies, and
sure.
before that happens he is going to check off everything on his bucket list.
Hmm.
um so it is really about him like doing wacky zany antics in the zombie apocalypse. Like he's like, I always wanted a big screen TV. So one episode is about him like breaking into the Walmart or whatever to get a giant flat screen TV to take back to his house.
Sure. Why not?
And because yeah, why not?
It's gonna stop him.
Yeah. And so it's just going on like that. Like he wanted to be a superhero as a kid, so what he does is he finds what's referred to as a shark suit from
Mhm.
the he steals it from the aquarium, and basically since sharks can't bite through it, he correctly assumes that zombies also can't bite through it.
Sensible.
uh, so for a little while he just saves people from zombies, like pretending to be a superhero.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a good comedy, goofy goof situation.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am one of those people who's like, I'm really fucking sick of zombies. All right.
I hate zombies. I have always
Yeah.
hated zombies, so like I was surprised that I liked this so much, because the zombies are really just the excuse for this guy to cross off his bucket list.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Um, how to put this? Okay. I have been referring to this mentally as the Lolita book cover paradox. Okay. And I don't like sit here and like try and like write a fucking PhD thesis about that term. But what I am saying when I say that is, so the book Lolita, right?
Mhm.
Um, that book is about how Humbert is a piece of shit. That book is about how terrible this man is for doing what he's doing. Okay. That
Yeah.
is unambiguous. However, the cover two copies of Lolita again and again wildly miss the fucking point of that. So it's very common to see a cover for like a paperback copy of Lolita that uses like the film poster, which is like a little minx with red lipstick sucking on a
They
lollipop. And it's
they
like,
don't do that now,
I
or
know
at
that
least
I'm getting
yeah,
there. I'm getting
yeah.
there. I know that. And so it's like, no, Lolita is not about look at this sexy 14-year-old. Lolita is about Humbert. It should be fucking burned in the garbage pile. He is looking for things and he's doing what pedophiles do. He is like putting all the onus on the fucking child when he is the adult in this situation. He's terrible. It's not about,
Yeah.
damn, that 14-year-old was just too sexy. I had to. But that's what these shitty paperback covers have often in the past implied. And I think there is an almost epidemic level of media illiteracy, which causes people to miss the fucking point entirely. And
Mhm.
I think that is expressed exquisitely in, like, I would say 85% of zombie stories.
Yes.
Because zombie stories in their original incarnation, popular, let's say their original popular incarnation, like Dawn of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, that kind of shit. Um, there was commentary going on there, and a lot of it was sort of like it ended very like the protagonist, who is a black man, gets shot by fucking hillbillies, and it is implied, not explicitly stated, but implied like they did it because they knew they could just claim he was a zombie and they just wanted to shoot a black man. And like that was kind of part of the statement being made in the original Living Dead film. And over time, because nobody wants to fucking think, zombie shit, not all of it, but a lot of it, has devolved into here's how much of a badass I'd be in the zombie apocalypse.
It's a lot of libertarian wish fulfillment.
Yeah, it's a lot of God, I wish I could shoot all my neighbors and steal all their shit.
I
Like,
think that is maybe why the few zombie things that I have liked come from countries that don't have as big a gun culture as us.
yeah.
Um,
Like the
'cause
zombie apocalypse lips image here isn't like commentary on society now. It's here's what I'd attach to the front of my Humvee so I could shred the hordes driving down the street. It's like, no, you'd be dead. It's an apocalypse. Apocalypse means we'd all be dead. You would not be Rambo. Oh, that's another thing, actually. Funnily enough, Rambo has been subjected to the Lolita paradox too. I don't know how many people know this.
Well, I think so the Lolita paradox, I think that is the YouTuber Jack Saint actually has an interesting video about the treatment that Rambo gets. But he's using RoboCop as an example on why it is so hard to criticize propaganda or like those or society with these types of action movies, partly because it attracts someone who is just there for the action and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
So the sequels, and also capitalism is like, this is successful, make more of it. And so they inevitably get not so much the Lolita paradox, but they get flattened the more sequels they get. So Rambo 1 has like a very clear message. Rambo 2
Rambo 2 is just him shooting people. Like Rambo 1, for folks who have never seen it, if you sit down, Kristen Cheney is saying, yeah, I watched Rambo, was not what I was expecting. I think most people who have the fucking like ambient cultural knowledge of what Rambo is, if they go into Rambo 1 not knowing, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Because Rambo 1 is a story about a traumatized PTSD tormented Vietnam veteran who fucking snaps after being brutalized by cops and massacres them. Like,
and
that's what Rambo is.
He's specifically there because his PTSD has made it that he can't connect with anyone, so he is trying to track down like a former unit mate to have someone that he can connect to.
Yeah, that is Rambo. That's Rambo. and a lot of people, when they first
Maggie Mayfish has a really good video about comparing Rambo to a different movie that is also about a veteran who is alienated from society and whatnot. But that one's not an action movie, so pop culture has not flattened it as much. But how they have a lot of similar themes.
Yeah, and it's capitalism fucking ruins everything, even if it's just the message in a film. Capitalism ruins everything.
Never let you go an episode without reminding
and
you.
No, God, no. We never will. Never.
I wish we would, but we won't.
And to a lesser degree,
you're lucky my sweatpants are soft and fleecy.
Yeah, to a lesser degree too. I mean, it's not always, let's fucking strip this of any important message. Sometimes capitalism can ruin shit just as simply as, you know what? No, I'm going to fuck up this perfect story beat. And the best sort of comparison I have for that, and I have not actually watched it, I've only watched video essays, so y'all let me know if I'm fucking up. Basically, okay, so anyone here who's seen The Mandalorian, right?
No.
There's a whole bit in it about, I'm going to call him Baby Yoda because I don't know his fucking name. But
I also don't know his name, but everyone does know who you mean by Baby Yoda.
Yeah, so the Mandalorian guy, he is sent on this mission.
That's his name. I told you his name.
To assassinate Baby Yoda, and of course he fucking can't, because look at him. And a lot of the ensuing episodes are taken up with like, wow, what are we gonna do about Baby Yoda? Who will save Baby Yoda? I will take care of Baby Yoda. You are not. I will not allow you to kill this adorable puppet. That's a lot of the Mandalorian following that. And then at the end of, I think it was season 2 or 3, it gets its big moment, right? And that's when, kind of horrifying but story-wise necessary, Luke fucking Skywalker shows up, and he's all like, "It is okay. I will take Baby Yoda and I will train him in the ways of the Jedi because he's clearly very powerful and gifted, and only I am the one, according to, totally justifiable Star Wars lore, only I am the one who has the wherewithal to make sure Baby Yoda reaches his full potential. So give me Baby Yoda." And there's this heartfelt moment where the Mandalorian turns over Baby Yoda, and everyone's all misty, and Luke takes him and walks off with him with R2D2 on his heels, and it's supposed to be this big crescendo of emotion, and all the storylines get tied up in a neat little package, and it was a great ending, and everyone who followed the series is like, yeah, that was so cool, that was so cool. But here's the problem: it made the Mandalorian like really popular. And Disney was all like, "Oh, it's very popular. Make another season.
I
And make sure
mean,
Baby Yoda's in it." And
they
it's like, we just fucking played Baby Yoda off. Baby Yoda can't be in it again. Do what I say, bitch. So now, like, Baby Yoda's back, and it's just there
No,
for no reason.
maybe if I wasn't high, I wouldn't hate the Mickey Mouse impression so much. But the visceral reaction I just had.
also,
oh, hi,
Yeah.
Abby. Hi, Juan Yuri. But yeah, I just fucking hate what is done to stories in the name of like making a quick fucking buck, because they
And
don't
we'll
actually
never,
care. They
ever
don't
let
make
you
art.
forget it.
I know they don't make art. They make money, and that's
We'll
their
never
primary
talk
consideration.
about
And
anything else.
okay, I'm
Yeah.
done now, Amanda. I'm stopping.
It's okay. I'm fine.
yeah, I wanted to talk about cool shit that I watched, and
Okay, go for it.
so I watched the Zombie Bucket List anime, and that's fun. There's also I watched Shadow and Bone, which is interesting in how they adapted it. So for those who don't know, Shadow and Bone is a YA fantasy trilogy. And it has a lot of the standard YA trilogy things. What's interesting about the adaptation is, while those books were popular, there was a sequel series that was way more popular because the characters are better. Like the first trilogy is like this, chosen one, like blah blah blah, world building. We gotta like fight oppression and whatever. All the greatest hits of YA books. And the sequel series is about a group of criminals, so it's hitting those found family beats, and it's just kind of like in the same world. It doesn't use like the old characters have cameos in them, but like it's not about them. It's more about like, we're gonna watch these criminal con artists do some like, they're very much thieves with hearts of gold. And when adapting the series for Netflix, they were like, how can we put the thieves with the hearts of gold that everyone loves in the chosen one plot? And like, I understand why they did it, because they are the best characters. Even in the show, like every scene they're in, they steal the show. But it led to, in the first season, they're doing some stuff that has no effect on the plot. Like, they're hired to kidnap the main character, and obviously they fail because the main character has to do the real plot of the book. So it's sort of funny because they just like fuck around and fail a lot. even though like these are the characters that people are here for. So it's just like it's an interesting sort of dichotomy. Um uh yeah, I have Jonas Goonface is in my chat. Every time the show turns away from the thief crew, I wilt. Um the They're so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like it's so it's just fascinating that it's like the adaptation is kind of at war with itself because they're acknowledging that this character needs to be the main character because she's gonna save the world. But also these people are here and they are so cool. um
Cool. Yeah,
yeah.
I no, go for it.
It's also interesting because the casting sort of ruined slash killed one of the sides of the main love triangle in the fandom.
Mhm.
So it's like, so main character lives in a world where basically if it turns out you have magic powers, you are like instantly taken away from your family, put in this like super upper class establishment, like to learn how to control your powers and also like learn how to play the political game and whatnot. But also you have to help the military with your magic powers.
Mhm.
So it's a gilded cage sort of situation. The guy in charge of the wizard army currently can control darkness, and she finds chosen one girl finds out that she can control light. So darkness guy gets like obsessed with her, and they try to do like sexual tension with bad guy like in the book. um but the actor that they cast in the show is so much older than the main character that they're really like, no, he's a groomer and a creep and a predator.
Mhm.
And shame on you for this being your ship, basically. Um
Makes you
and
think.
he's like not supposed to look that old in the book. Like he is manipulative, and you find out like he's secretly immortal and whatnot. Whereas in the show, he's a dude in his late 30s hitting on this like early 20 something girl.
Hmm.
So yeah, so there's a lot of interesting stuff that's like, I think they changed it for the better. There are just like some interesting like problems that prop up because of that. So I'm kind of interested in the like, how do you adapt this thing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
and the special effects are pretty good.
Yeah. I haven't been watching a lot of fiction myself.
Yeah, I know you don't watch anything.
No, I totally watch fiction. It's just not very often, and I think I've talked about this before. Part of it, the reason is the fiction I do want to watch requires my undivided attention, and my
Yeah.
undivided attention is at a premium. So I
Uh-huh.
prioritize fiction where I don't have to look at the screen while I'm watching it, and
Yeah.
that tends to default to bread tubers and
Yeah,
documentaries.
that's
Eh,
generally where I'm falling to.
Yeah. And I have a whole bunch I watch and I love them all very much, but primarily the reason I'm watching them is I don't have to look at them. I can like answer email or update a crowdfund or chat in a Discord, a work Discord I should note, while they're going. And
Uh
it's important that that little part of my brain that is like a hamster tearing ass in its little wheel has something to do while I'm getting work done.
this is also uh I think because I'm one of four and the TV was always on, I have a very hard time concentrating if it's quiet.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I always have something on.
Yeah. Um, And
I
I've
don't. I
gotten
can't
very good at
handle the silence. If my apartment's silence, I start to like get twitchy and weird.
you go, hello, darkness, my old friend.
No, I just get twitchy and weird. Not somber, anxious. But yeah, and I'm the oldest of like several, six technically more. No, six is a fine. Let's settle at six. But yeah, no, I am the oldest of many children and always a noisy house. So not necessarily always TV, but there was always noise, and not having like being in a completely silent apartment is like the most unnerving thing.
Yeah. I sometimes I've done this more since my husband is not in the condo right now. I've done this more now than I usually do, but sometimes I'll straight up leave the TV on in the living room while I'm doing
Yeah,
something in my office
I do that when
because
I'm
I just
taking
want that
baths.
background noise. I just want that background noise.
Yeah, I do that when I'm taking a bath. I'll leave like YouTube auto playing just so there's noise from the living room while I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah. It's just nice. It's just nice because
It's
we're social creatures,
comforting.
and even just fake. By the way, this is very random and out of nowhere.
Oh
I can't
no, I'm putting
recall
on my
if
helmet. I'm preparing. What
I
is
can't
this?
recall if I mentioned it last time, but I'm mentioning it now just in case I didn't. If there are any lesbian couples in the chat who have a child, your Halloween costume, I am going to suggest one of you should be wire mom and one of you should be cloth mom.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah,
that
rip
going
that couple
around.
off. They
That
were
couple
unique.
fucking rules.
They
That
were
is the
unique.
best
Now you
that is
will
the best
steal their
couple's
look.
costume I've seen in years. Anyway.
Um, I linked you to the Rambo video by Maggie
I
Mayfish in
see
our
it.
Discord, Spike.
Oh, also, I speaking of BreadTube, I found some remarkable cinematic self-harm.
Yeah.
So everyone here is familiar with the Razzies, which are the opposite of the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
There is a YouTuber. She's not a bread tuber. I guess she's a media tuber. Who has watched every single Razzie's worst film of the year since the conception of the Razzies, and she just reviews them all. And her name is Evasive. And so if you just go to, let me see if you go to YouTube, if you just type in Evasive, if she'll come up. Let's see. Evasive? Yes, she's the first one. Okay, there we go. Yeah, if you just click her name, you'll see I watched every Razzie Worst Picture winner featuring Nikki Carrera and Young Junko. And it's wow. Wow. It's wow. If you ever, for a moment, anyone, lack confidence in your own creative output, go look at this video and see films that someone like straight up said, yes, I will pay $10 million so this exists.
I remember there's a Patton Oswalt bit about Deathbed, the bed that eats people. Which is bad, and not even fun bad. It is kind of just boring. Because I watched it because I was morbidly curious because of this comedy bit. And he said he doesn't know what's worse, that if the makers of Deathbed, the bed that eats people, had absolutely no self-doubt and were just going forward and like they're like there's no notes, I'm just this will be great and amazing and let's just move forward, go, no second thoughts. Or is that worse, or is this second scenario worse, where they got a bunch of like executive notes and like a bunch of problems happened, but they worked through it because Deathbed, the bed that eats people, will be worth it in the end. Like so he's like, he doesn't know which situation would make him sadder.
It's like that Hunter S. Thompson quote, just sick enough to be totally confident.
Yeah. Well, so like so he doesn't know like what's worse, if they were completely like unwavering confidence in this idea, or that they had doubts and worked through them and still made the movie.
I gotta say though, horror movie people are like a whole different kind of breed. Horror movie people
Yeah.
are they are like the epitome of people, in my opinion, and this is me, I am fully external to the horror film scene here, but this is just what I've taken away from, being in the bushes and peering out at horror movie maker types. They seem the most in touch with that 13-year-old them who borrowed mom and dad's camcorder for the weekend and a bottle of ketchup and went out in the woods with their friends and a black bedsheet and filmed a murder movie where they had their friend walking through the woods and then their friend turned around and went, ah! And then it did a really hard cut to their friend lying in the woods with ketchup squirted all over them. And the other friend in a black bed sheet going, woo-ha. Like that purity of wanting to make film, it seems most closely connected to horror movie people because there's something really authentic about even like the shittiest horror movie. It's a bunch of people who got together and like, we're gonna make a fucking nasty film and it's gonna rule.
That's why I'm like, it's a shame that the Deathbed Who Eats People is just boring.
That is the worst thing, yeah.
Yeah, because like there's the scene I remember the most, because it's one of those things where it's kind of so boring that I don't even really remember most of it. But there's a part where like his hand goes in the bed, and then when he pulls it out, it's a skeleton hand.
Because it ate his hand?
Then, well, the thing is like, then he like stares at it for a long time.
Sure, okay. Just
like,
listen.
Like you say, like you're laughing, but like this is like 5 minutes where he's just sitting down against the wall looking at his skeleton hand.
Because the bed was like meticulous. It just nibbled all the flesh and tendons and ligaments
off. No, I think there was like little bits and pieces off. So while he's staring at it, like some of it like slides off and like.
So he's more like that uncle at the barbecue who just like sucks the meat right off the rib bone.
Yeah. And so he's just staring at his hand that is now skeletons. And then it's like, because your skeleton hand, like those bones are partly held in place by cartilage and muscle. So like eventually the little bones like start to fall off the hand. Like
naturally.
So yeah, so it's just a long scene of him watching that happen. And I was just like, who thought this was a good idea? Like,
but it's so pure. It's so pure. It really is.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, if it was full of ridiculous nonsense, I could be more on board. Like, I recently watched The Howling 2 with some friends, and The Howling 2 does not care about plot or consistency or good acting.
Sure.
What it does care about is BDSM werewolf orgies.
Which, you know what? If that's what they care about, good for them.
Like Christopher Lee is giving exposition to the heroes of the story and explaining things, and then it just keeps cutting back to the villains having a werewolf threesome in BDSM gear. And that is like, this is what he really wanted to focus on, and he's mad that he had to make a plot that's purpose was to get to this.
Yeah.
He resents the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share with you what the villainess wears. Hold on.
Yeah, there are definitely times I do get a vibe from a film, and it's usually a short film, but I do get a vibe from a film where it's like, you thought of that scene first, and then you built this whole movie around getting to that scene, and that scene is clearly the only part you care about.
So that's what the villainess is wearing the whole movie.
Is this in the Discord?
Yes.
Let me look.
I'm sitting
She
really
somehow does not
far.
rip that up when she becomes werewolf eyes.
I
huh?
am sitting really far back from my monitor, and it looks like shiny popsicle sticks.
I
You
mean
know.
that is kind of what it is.
Yeah, you're not
Um,
wrong.
yeah. She has her throne of
Fashion.
skulls and her minion that's wearing a what looks like a best attempt at a medieval gimp mask.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I'm
Let me
not
take a
clicking
look.
a link. It's too
I'm
far away.
clicking
I'm
everything.
sorry.
I'm clicking everything.
I have leaned back in my chair. I have propped my feet up. This is just me for now.
Are you relaxed, Amanda?
A little too relaxed, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
don't
I
fall
made
asleep on us now.
No, I made
so
mistakes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
so the whole point of the movie is to get to this lady and her fuck dungeon castle.
And her
Uh-huh.
popsicle sticks.
Yes.
Also, I
Uh,
just like to note that my intrusive thought has grown more powerful over the last
what?
week. Um, Black Pomeranian or Skipperkey named Susuwatari.
Yeah, sure. Do
I
it.
just that's a deeply intrusive thought, and I
The
don't
I
want
last,
a
think
like,
dog
I
right
want
I,
to
now.
say 10
I think
minutes have been things I have no idea what y'all are talking about, and it continues.
I think a skipper key would be a better
It's just
than a Pomeranian.
here's the thing. Like I favor dogs that are snuggly. I favor dogs
I
that
mean,
are just
skipper keys are.
Skipperkeys are more terrierish, whereas Pomeranians are literally bred to be companions, so they only care about like chilling on the couch with you.
That is going to
So,
vary dog to dog. I'm
well,
sorry.
I mean, I'd meet it first,
Yeah.
but it's there's just something about like if you've ever seen a Pomeranian's fucking face, it's just wow. The way it looks at not I want to say the way it looks at you, but no, frankly, that's its fucking face. The way it looks at everything. And they're just and it really if you've ever seen one it's just all brushed out and walking along, like yes, that is a sprite. That is just a sprite.
Uh,
Yeah, and Matt
yeah.
here is reminding me, and it's a cat turn. Matt is a cat person, and Matt wants a cat. And we've had two dogs, and I am bossy, and I wanted dogs, so we got dogs. And I
Maybe
promised
you should get
after
both.
oh god no god no god
No.
no after dogs we were gonna get a cat, and I did promise we were gonna get a cat, and
Get
I
a Maine
promised.
Coon.
No, I was actually thinking a Sphinx might be fun.
Oh.
Yes, nude.
Yeah, get a
Nude.
Sphinx so I can touch it.
A nude.
I want
Nude
to touch
animals
it.
feel like bald sacks, everyone.
I don't like it.
I love nude animals. Like, I don't have any hairless rats anymore, and I never will again. So, little
Yeah,
dudes,
nude
little
animals feel great
dudes.
because animals run hotter than people. So they do not just feel like human skin. It's great.
It's just the softest little creature. Well, here's the thing. Depending on the type of animal, for hairless rats, like they're technically not hairless.
Yeah,
They
they got like
still
peach
have
fuzz.
peach fuzzes. I
Yeah.
don't think it's the same with hairless cats.
Get a Cornish Rex.
Or go to the shelter and get a shelter kitty.
Here is a important note that I think we
Shelter
are
kitty.
not all considering here, and it is part of the reason for folks who haven't been around for a while. I used to have dreadlocks down to my ass, and then I cut them all off. And the reason I did that is because I got Lucy, whom I love very much, and I don't regret doing that. But pet hair sticks to dreadlocks and will simply not come out. And I had long, long black hair and a mostly white dog. And it was a bad scene. And so basically it came down to do I want to spend the next 11 years dyeing my hair black to hide all the dog hair in them because that dog hair is not coming out? Or do I want to just not have dreads for the duration? And I love my dog, so I cut off my dreads. And part of the reason I have dreads again is I no longer have a dog covered in white hair. So if we do get a pet at some point that does have hair, it has to be black hair. It has to be.
I will
Or
say,
no hair at all.
longer hair cats, their shedding, due to the way their shedding works, it does tend to not get everywhere.
Mhm.
because it gets stuck on itself. That's why you have to brush them,
Mhm.
but their fur kind of gets stuck in itself.
Matt, you're being very assertive. Why not a sphinx? Oh, it's because we have to fucking bathe it. Is that why?
Yeah, you really need to bathe sphinxes. So if you get a
Yeah.
sphinx that doesn't like it, that's going to be hell on earth.
Yeah.
Also, again, you can brush a cat, keep it
And Matt
trimmed.
wants a black cat to match his wife.
But
He
yeah,
likes the
but here's the
matching
other
cat.
thing. The thing with black cats is usually they're actually kind of abundant when it comes to
Hmm.
adoption because
They
that's the
are,
cats people don't go for.
which is silly.
Yes.
I'm actually going to go on the Anti Cruelty Society website right this moment,
There are some very good cats out
and
there.
I am going to search.
And
No, can't I
sometimes
search?
they skip their turn in line and break into your home.
Can't I just search for like kind of animal? These are all dogs. Surely you have cats. Uh, about us, what we do, how to help. No, I want to adopt. Why can't you show me cat stuff? Show me cats. I want cats. It's all dogs. Don't do this to me, Anti Cruelty Society.
All dogs all the time.
All dogs all the time. Oh, here are some more cats. This one is named Bean. This one is named Riggins. Okay. Come on, just don't tell me you have 4 cats. I don't believe you.
Oh, here's the
Adopt.
thing. As someone who was cat shopping a lot,
Mhm.
it is what it is. Even if you find a cat and you love it, that doesn't mean you're gonna get it.
Yeah. We're definitely not getting it right now because okay, without getting too into it, we got a lot going on over here at Iron Circus, and we Matt and I have both decided we would like to travel before we are once again sort of taking it upon ourselves to take care of a small animal for the long term. And by travel, I mean on my bucket list, and for a while on my bucket list, has been spend a month in Japan, which is not enough time to do everything, but it's enough time to do a lot. And we can't spend a month in Japan and have a pet. It's just not feasible, and I don't think it's super fair to the pet. So we want to just like get all that out of our system, go to the Capuchin tombs, go to Tokyo, go to Osaka, maybe fuck who even maybe go to Hong Kong if it's not insane and crazy there. Maybe go to Cairo. We want to do like a few things, and then we will be satisfied to have a little creature that needs us. And that's going to be like a 2 or 3 year interval, but yes. Riggins is a lackadaisy cat. It seriously is. But yeah, that's kind of like the plan right now. So this is all very far in the future kind of stuff.
Um,
Matt's over here. Now's not the time to
no.
fall. I know that.
Hmm.
But yeah. But yeah, everyone, I will do my best to adopt. We will be favoring black animals, so I don't have to cut all my hair off again. We're not going to be going to Hong Kong or Cairo anytime soon. I think we'll see. We'll see. I've always had very mixed feelings about tourism in Egypt. It's a huge boon to their economy, and they need it and all that. But at the same time, like the vibe is kind of fucked up because like tourists definitely get special protections and stuff, and normally that would be fine. But it's like along the lines of if you go to Egypt as a tourist and you are approached by like a peddler, like an Egyptian tourist police, because they have the tourist police, could fucking just sort of like manifest out of the shadows and just fucking just haymaker the dude trying to sell you a keychain. And that's just kind of like how it is. Because that's what tourist police do, because tourism is so important to Egypt. They have a dedicated police force, and the police force has been noted as being unnecessarily fucking brutal. And I would like to see pyramids, and I would like to see tomb goods, and I would like to see the Nile, but at the same time, I'm feeding into no conscientious consumption. I am feeding into a system that sucks by doing it, but I still want to see it. And Hong Kong, we might be able to go to Hong Kong, Matt. You never
I
know.
want a big bowl of chili.
That sounds fantastic.
I think I could make that happen
You
for
were literally
myself.
yelling at us about talking about food.
Because I was hungry.
A bowl of chili does sound nice. Oh, by the way, I'm very happy because a video just dropped on YouTube, and I like it a lot, and I recommend everyone watch it. There is a food tuber named Mark Wiens, Wiens.
Weens.
Mark Wiens, that's his name, and he did a first part of a food tour of Chicago. And usually when I see this, my eyes roll, and I'm like, okay, fuck off, whatever. Because when people show up, people who aren't from around here like show up to do their food tours of Chicago, they like go to Portillo's, maybe. They go to like Pizzeria de Uno, and then they talk about like, I don't even fucking know, like Chicago mixed popcorn. And that's their food tour of Chicago, which is like a super shitty food tour. It's really touristy. It's really like not in the know. And Mark showed up and he did not do any of that. So yes, go see him buy an Italian beef and some aquarium barbecue, which is it's a real thing. It's a Chicago thing, aquarium barbecue. And he went to all the right places, and it's good. And I'm glad to see him not go to the tourist traps to do his food review. Although Chicago food is really heavy, I should note.
Is it?
It is. It's a lot of meats in white
Okay, I was gonna
bread.
say I'm from Texas, so I'm sitting there like, it's heavy.
It's a lot of meats in white bread.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. A lot of
It's
heavy barbecue.
Amanda is from Texas, so
Yeah.
Texas might have Chicago beat for heavy
It's
food.
the portions, it's the food, it's a lot.
Yeah, just like the thing that's really popular here is like Polish dogs are really popular, where it's
So
just
I
like the
said that really weird.
fucking gigantic ass Polish dog, and then they like drown it in fried onions and mustard, and they serve it to you on this little teeny tiny bun, and it's just really really juicy and sloppy. Like that's a Chicago food thing. It's all fucking sloppy. It's all like messy ass barbecue or messy ass dipped sandwiches or messy ass Polish dogs. It's just the juice
Oh
just
yeah,
floating everywhere. That's
that is
Chicago food.
definitely something I've been slowly noticing that I'm really not pleased about.
Yeah, messy food,
That I've
messy
had
food.
4 different occasions where a friend was like, "All right, we're going to help you experience this Chicago's staple," and it
Yeah,
was something that like fell apart in my hands. I'm like, I don't want to eat this,
yeah. And here's
except
the
for the
thing:
fat pizza.
it's
Except for the
good.
fat
Here's the thing: Chicago
pizza.
food is also it's good. It's fucking
I
good. It's really
disagreed.
good.
It wasn't good.
Like if you want to go and you want to get like a dip sandwich, and when I say dip sandwich, imagine you get a white like a French roll, you cut it in half, you fill it with juicy thin sliced beef and maybe some onions and maybe some peppers. They then take that in a pair of tongs, and it's like they're drowning it. They like hold it in a giant vat of
Ugh.
gravy, and they just hold it there. And when I say hold it, I mean like one is Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi, five Mississippi, and then they take it out and give it to you, and that's a dipped sandwich. And
I just want it to end up in my mouth.
you gotta fucking eat it right away. Like you can't like put it in your pocket and take it home. You have to eat it like that's why in a lot of these places, like in Chicago, you'll see people fucking eating in the parking lot. Like they
They
can't take it
waterboard the
home.
beef.
You can't. Yeah, they waterboard. They beef. They can't. You can't take it home and eat it. You got to eat it right there. You'll see people eating on like in the parking lot, like sitting on
I
on
see.
the
I don't
fence
like that because
on
I
the
actually
bumper of their
do like
car.
to like travel with my food and eat it really slowly. It's
The-
awful.
yeah, if you want to a dipped beef, you can't. You can't
And then we went to this hot dog place.
travel.
Admittedly, good hot dogs, but like they put so much on it. You take a bite
Chicago
and all.
dog.
No, they weren't Chicago dogs. They were
Oh,
just Chicago style dogs. Like they had Chicago dogs, but they had tons of different flavors too.
did
Um,
they? Did you drag it through the garden?
no, it's a hot dog.
No, well, that's the way to have. It's like I know it's like SpongeBob level, but when they say drag it through the garden, that basically means you put tomato, lettuce, relish, onions, like all the vegetables on it.
No, it's too much. There's not enough space in the buns for all that stuff.
Yeah, sloppy.
I know, I don't like
It's
it. I
sloppy,
want my food in
sloppy.
my mouth. I don't want it on my shirt.
Yeah, Chicago like isn't a delicate town,
I
and the food
chopped
here isn't
most of my
delicate either.
boobs off so that would stop, so that phase of my life would end. No food on my
Yeah.
shirts anymore.
Also, honey butter chicken. Honey butter chicken is like not classic, but holy fuck. Ah, Chicago honey butter chicken is the best.
Yeah, it was devil dogs. Very, very tasty. Just impossible to eat.
Oh, I love devil dogs. I get devil dogs on the reg. They have like these really nice shakes where you can add a malt, and so it's
Yeah, I like their shake. I like their shakes.
They have
Again,
a
I like
pumpkin
the
spice shake
flavor
now.
of the hot dogs. When I scooped all the ingredients off of my napkin and into my mouth, it was very
Yeah.
tasty.
Yeah, honestly though, full confession, when I get devil dogs, I do not get hot dogs. I get their chicken sandwiches because their chicken sandwiches are so
Not a big
fucking
chicken
good.
person.
It'll like fucking juice all over you. It's the best.
What is
Ugh.
with you and me covering it in food mess? What is your thing with bathing in food leavings?
Oh, fucking like when you get like a devil
It's
dog.
because then it justifies her bathing in Purell later.
When you like get a
Is
devil
this a
dog's
courtship
chicken sandwich,
thing?
what you do is you get a fried egg on it and the spicy slaw.
Is this
Oh
what
my
straight
god!
people
And since it's slaw and it's like sitting on like a hot fried chicken thigh, when you like squeeze the sandwich and take a bite, it's just like everywhere. It's great.
You do these things on purpose. Is this like a straight courtship thing? Slathering yourself in food to attract a mate or
It's
something?
a Chicago thing. It's a Chicago thing. Just the food goes
Ugh.
everywhere. Welcome to Chicago. The food goes everywhere.
No, thank you.
It's fucking everywhere.
No, thank you.
Yeah, the chicken sandwiches are incredible.
I'm not a big chicken fan. Chicken is one of those I'll eat it because it's food.
Mm. And yeah, and just the food here is messy. Just be prepared for that. Even my husband Matt, he's in here. He can attest.
No, I experienced it
fucking
multiple times. Didn't like it. That's what I
He
keep telling
loves
you.
deep dish, and I can't.
Oh,
deal
I
with
do
that
love the
shit.
deep dish pizza.
Oh, I can't.
That's
deal with that.
different.
It's
Me and the
too
deep
much.
dish pizza, we fuck.
When it comes to pizza, I am absolutely like a New York City style, like big isosceles slice that's foldable kind of person.
Of course, I also have been told to eat pizza like a criminal, so
What, with a knife and fork?
no.
Oh. How are you criminal?
I eat the toppings
Ah,
first, and then I eat
Gross.
the cheese if I can, and then I
Sick.
eat the sauce, and then all
Bad.
that's left is the pizza dough, and I eat that.
that's awful.
Usually,
that's demented.
depending on the type of pizza, if it's thin crust pizza, just all the dough at once. If it's like a pizza where it's got like a rising dough, I'll eat the soft parts of the dough, then the crispy parts of the pizza crust.
That's openly deranged.
Yeah, I've been told I'm a pizza criminal.
I don't like that at all.
I got texture problems.
But yeah, I love just like get me like just a bog standard basic bitch New York style pepperoni slice. Just get me that and like hot, just fresh.
Honestly,
And
I'll
with the
take any
cheese all
pizza
gooey.
as long as
Oh,
it's not Papa
oh.
John's.
That's my shit. Oh no, Papa John's can rot in hell. No,
I-
the fucking isosceles New York style slice is what I like.
I just can't eat the sauce.
Matt just said Amanda's a serial killer.
No!
You are. You fucking
No!
are. You
The
fucking
the
are.
most adorable serial killer.
No! I never would. How dare
Yeah,
you?
I'm occasionally like okay, so
How
like
dare
I
you.
like food content obviously, and I subscribe to a lot of it on YouTube, and I love Chicago's food scene. I think if you want something, you can find it here. It's not hard, but I am seethingly jealous of New York food culture. Not just because I think it might be sort of better, like fractionally better. I don't think it like blows Chicago out of the water or anything. I think it might be fractionally better, but also because of the level of attention paid to it and the number of reviews there are out there for just New York food. Like it's extremely easy to go on YouTube and find somebody whose entire channel is trying out New York restaurants. And I fucking wish I had that kind of volume in restaurant reviews for Chicago-based people. It just doesn't exist. And it's they have like we have food festivals in Chicago too, but they have things like, the Momo Walk, where it's just everybody sets up their booths on like the side of the road, and they just make dumplings, and you can just go and get a $1 dumpling from every single booth from all these different restaurants, and it's just like, fuck, man, that sounds
Talking
cool.
to the chat, the reason I cannot eat Papa John's is because they've never changed their sauce recipe in like the last 20 years. It still tastes like it used to. And there was a several month period where my dad and my stepmom both worked at Papa John's.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we had for dinner 4 nights out of the week, maybe 5.
Yeah.
That pizza sauce haunts me. If they change their recipe, maybe I'd eat it again, but I can't.
Miss Ellesmere, actually, yes. Another thing that I am a huge fan of, other than food content, is real estate content, which sounds weird, but what people expect you to pay for fucking rabbit hutches in New York City is like openly offensive, like first against the wall level offensive. And
excuse me?
Yeah, it's
what did
terrible.
you just say?
First
against the wall. She wants to execute those people first.
Spike! What an awful thing to say.
If you watched this fucking New York real estate content, you would understand.
I don't like your tone, ma'am.
People are being just relentlessly conditioned to expect less and less and less from their living conditions. And I am enraged every time I watch.
Sorry if I'm squeaky or shrieky. Sorry.
You're fine.
I'm just making sure.
Stop. I'm enraged when I watch these real estate people like feign excitement and awe at the shitty little like orange crates that they're calling apartments now. Where they're all like, it's really luxurious. That's their favorite fucking word, by the way. It's really luxurious. It's beautiful. The location is everything. You get 25 square feet all to yourself. There is a shared bathroom and kitchen accommodation, and it's a real deal in the heart of Brooklyn for just $8,500 a month. And we're really excited to offer it. And it's like they can't even fucking turn around in it. I'm like, fuck you, fuck you.
Aether Tales, my microwave died, so I just replaced it, and I got the cheapest one I could. It's a 700 watt, and it takes 5 years to heat up a pizza bagel.
Aww.
But it's pretty. It's red.
Yeah, New York is, it's offensive. It's offensive. And here's the thing.
New York.
Here's the thing too. All right, I know that like a lot of this might come off as like, oh, you're in Chicago, so you have this inferiority complex about like New York and LA. Like that's
Matt has a very good question. Why was the New York real estate person from Minnesota?
Because I like that. I like talking about
plot hole.
I
don't believe this movie anymore.
I have accents I enjoy doing, and that's one of them. But like here's the thing. People kind of like live in this fantasy world where if you're paying more, that means it's better because we've all been fucking tricked. And that is absolutely not it. When I say I like architectural / real estate content, it's not because I like to like ogle billion-dollar homes. It's because it's a fucking circus. It's a nightmare. There is a tower right now in San Francisco where the apartments, each of the 95 apartments, they all sell for minimum $2.5 million each. They are supposedly this ultra luxury development. And the entire fucking skyscraper is leaning. It's leaning a lot. It's leaning too much. If it leans about 20 centimeters more, the elevators will no longer work. The plumbing will no longer work. And this is something people have paid $2.5 million to live with. And now everybody is just like this fucking Wild West show of everybody suing each other, trying to figure out who has to pay to fix it. Because it is theoretically fixable. They don't know. And there is a fucking timer on this shit. Because it is leaning more every day. And this is shit that literal billionaires are trying to deal with, and literal millionaires. So being a millionaire or billionaire, that will not fucking save you from shitty construction and shitty
Man, this
products.
sounds like it sounds like the subject of a Far Side book.
And
What was it?
you're
Am I thinking of the right books? The Far Side High
It
School?
didn't
I
save the
I
Sun
gotta
King
look
of
this up.
France. It won't save you.
I might have made something up in my current state. Give me a second.
Far Side is the one panel gag comics. You might be thinking of
Wayside?
Wayside, yes.
Okay, Wayside. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, yeah.
Sideways Tales from Wayside Elementary.
Yes.
But yeah, and by the way, that's not only like that's not even the only currently leaning tower in the U.S. There is one in New York that is under construction. They didn't even get to fucking finish it, and it started leaning. And they have stopped construction to try and figure out how to stop that. And again, these are supposedly for
Wayside
millionaires and
School.
billionaires. That these glorious luxury ultra high skyscrapers,
Yep, there
and they
it
can't even
is.
fucking build them right.
Wayside School. Cool, awesome. I'm glad I didn't make that up.
And Miss Alice Muir, yes, I fucking love Zillow Gone Wild. I love Zillow Gone Wild a lot. Although I also love it for like authentic reasons, because every once in a while they'll showcase a house that's clearly it's someone's dream home. They made it so customized and so individual.
I love looking at those.
Yeah, you kind of feel this pang of sadness because if they're selling it, something has changed, you know? Like, and it's probably not that they're trading up. It's just
it might just be that they were going to go build a second dream house in a different location because they like the weather better in that location.
Yeah.
So I don't feel a whole lot of sympathy, just
Also, I like it when they forget to put away the sex furniture. Every once in a while you'll come across a house and it's got like a swinging from the ceiling fuck chair, or like, you know, a bed that has the stocks in
ma'am.
it, like
Hi.
you're a pilgrim who swore on Sunday. Stocks in the headboard.
Come here. Sit on the lap. Where's your collar? Ma'am.
Is it time for ravioli? Oh, it is time for ravioli.
Where's your collar, ma'am?
She took that shit off. She doesn't have any time for that.
I guess so. Hi, honey. Sorry, I'm a little touchy-feely. Sorry about that. I was petting her a little too powerfully. She was like, excuse me.
A thing that was like in the news. Yeah, Bird Wizard is bringing up a point about the mansions of the rich crumbling to ruin. Here's the thing. That is a wild thing that absolutely happens. For our culture's utter obsession with no, don't paint the walls anything other than egg white or cream or off white or you know, light yellow, because resale. No, don't alter that so that it fits you individually better. Resale value. Like our fucking capitalism has destroyed us, so we're all obsessed with resale value. For a culture that emphasizes that so much, McMansions have basically zero resale value. Like basically zero. And that is because
they don't need to resell shit.
Well, no, I mean everyone wants to resell their shit at the end of the day.
But they don't
a lot
need
of people, well, here's the thing, that depends on the person. You can't just make a blanket statement. A lot of people who have McMansions, they turn into empty nesters. They turn 75. They're not interested in walking up 3 flights of stairs anymore to get to their bedroom or something like that. So they want to downsize, or they want to move to Florida. And so they have this McMansion and they want to get rid of it. And it turns out they cannot. And part of that is so many McMansions were built on a for-profit model. They were built by developers, not by anyone like commissioning an architect to design them a house. They were built by developers had a very pronounced profit motive. And so they were built just good enough, but not good. And by the time these people have lived in these McMansions for 20 years, they're fucking falling apart.
Isn't that like the problem with a lot of those like expensive condominiums and buildings that have like collapsed, and it turns out just because like a lot of very rich people slip people money to make things happen faster.
That's part of it, but a lot of it is specifically developers mass developing homes with a pronounced profit motive. So the materials they use are as cheap as possible, but not so cheap they collapse right away. Just cheap enough that you get like 2 to 5 years of no problems, and then just it all goes to hell. So no one wants to live in a 20-year-old McMansion because by the time it's 20, 30 years old, it's full of black mold.
Don't you
All
put
the
your
plumbing is
claws on
failing.
my
The
monitor?
the water heater in the basement is completely shot. Like everything is falling apart. And that is because of how it was built. So these people who have made this like I don't even know, like $250,000 investment in 1998, and they're all
Over
like,
that
okay, let's move
building.
to the Bahamas now, or let's move to Miami. They're just like not selling it, not reselling for anything they thought it would be worth. Because if there's anything boomers hold close to their chest, it's this idea that when it comes to real estate, line goes up. And like, yeah, due to inflation, line does go up on their house, but they think they have $1 million house on their hand. It's like, no, you're gonna move this for like 500, and they're like, what the fuck? Yeah, and Miss Alismere, like
Oh, don't eat
luxury
my
apartments
microphone.
is like jumbo shrimp to me. Like luxury apartment, that's not a thing. I think what people have been fooled into thinking is luxury is fucking hilarious. And I could just like rage about this. Like you can't afford luxury. We can't afford do you want to know what luxury is, everybody?
No, not really.
Like fucking
I
go to an English country estate and behold all the bespoke carvings on the handrails of cupids and the imported marble tile that's in a checkerboard pattern and the silk wallpaper and the actual crystal chandelier. That's luxury. You can't afford it. But these days we are being shown pictures of literal stark white plastic IKEA departments and being told that's luxury. Luxury is like the most meaningless word now.
Okay.
It's true.
And I believe you. I just, why are you
Yeah.
telling me?
Because it's interesting. I'm talking.
Is it? Is
Yes.
it
is it interesting?
Yes. I'm sorry. We can just sit here in silence, Kel. Would that
I
be
mean,
better?
that's what I've been doing for
Yeah,
like 10
exactly.
minutes.
Exactly.
No, I'm elbowing you basically. I'm being a
I know.
turd.
I know. I have more confidence than to be shaken by either of y'all. Don't worry.
Wow, that was mean to me. I'm very, very intimidating. How dare you? You steal my inches and then you
Yeah.
call me not intimidating.
Steal my inches. That
Yeah.
sounds like witchcraft. They'll get somebody murdered.
Yeah.
Steal
Maybe
my
you
inches.
shouldn't have done it.
No, I'm a witch. Everyone knows.
I know, and you shouldn't have stole my inches. Give them back.
God, I want to wear a cape casually.
You can. No one can stop you.
I want to wear
no
like
one
a summer weight cape and a winter weight cape.
Do it.
Again, no one's stopping you.
Do it.
Except for you, because you don't leave your house.
I
Yeah,
wear
exactly.
overalls with cat ears and kitty faces on them. Just live your dream.
Yeah, life's too short.
Yeah, so go get your cape, Spike.
I should.
Do it.
Should. I just have this habit of deciding, like, you know what? If I have a good year, I'm gonna XYZ. That's what I'm gonna do for myself. And then when it's the end of the year, I talk myself out of doing it.
I'm thinking about getting LASIK eye surgery.
Oh, and fixing your peepers, huh?
Yeah, because I'm super blind.
Yeah, my eyesight has been failing. Because I'm
Oh, I've
44.
always been blind. I've always been blind. I've been blind since the 4th grade.
Yeah.
I hate wearing glasses.
Yeah, I truly
I
cannot
like how they
see.
make my face look.
Yeah, same.
I don't like glasses because my eyelashes are too long and make my glasses get greasier quicker than most people's.
Mhm.
Here goes
So I've
Kel
always
bragging
preferred
about their
contact.
eyelashes.
I don't need them. If I could give them to you, I would get like I literally don't care. They're wasted on me.
Makes me think of that episode of The Simpsons where Lisa goes into child beauty pageants. There's a
Yeah.
little girl there whose eyelashes are like implants from like Venezuela or something.
Yeah, so they're wasted on me. If I could give them to you, I would.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I much prefer contacts, but like it'd be great if I could wake up and see in the morning.
That hasn't happened to
I'm
me
fortunate in
fucking
that my
I'm
vision's bad, but in a way where it's basically stayed the same for 20 years.
that
Longer,
won't be the
actually.
case. Yeah.
I'm just saying
my
other people, my other friends have always had progressively worsening vision. Mine will get worse eventually, but like it'll just suddenly start happening.
I just I'm so blind that if I don't
Do
remember
not
where I
move,
put my
honey.
glasses, I will lose them.
Baby
Like
girl.
I cannot see my glasses if they're not on my face.
Yeah, I sleep with mine.
Yep, relatable content. One of the nice things
Uh,
about having Matt around is I've been like, "Where the fuck are my glasses?" And he's like, "Oh,
No, I
okay."
just end up sleeping. It's not good for the glasses. It's not good for me. But if I sleep with them, when I wake up, they're already on, so I can't fumble around.
Hmm.
The end.
Sensible.
Yeah.
But yeah, ugh.
Also, it helps that I wear like really big fat ass glasses, so they can be cocked at any weird angle, and I can still come mostly see out of them.
Yeah, the thing that fucks with me now is because once again, because I am middle-aged, I have started getting that thing where my my pupil, my iris is not as quick as it used to be. So it takes time to focus on things at different distances. So if I'm looking at the computer screen and I'm reading off the computer screen and I'm doing that for like 5 minutes straight, that's fine. But if I turn and I look behind me at something on a shelf, it's just blurry for about like 2 seconds before it comes into focus. It's time to update my prescription, and I am definitely not getting bifocals, but I see why people do that now.
Oh yeah, I don't know why
I
people got
mean, you
such an
might
issue
need
with
bifocals later in
why do
life,
people
but
have such a... Actually, no. I talked to my mom. I do know why people have issues with bifocals.
Matt got them. He got his first set of bifocals recently in his last prescription update, and I was happy to let him test drive them and tell me what he thinks of having bifocals. And he was all like, "Yeah, don't do this." I believe him. So
I know for different people it's different, but I know my mom was like doesn't like the looking at them from different angles thing.
yeah. Yeah. So I ain't
Oh
gonna.
um,
man.
I'll be one of those old people that purchase their glasses on their head when they need to look at something at a different scale.
well, I'm get robot eyes.
Yeah. I keep my old glasses in the shower caddy, so when I lose my current glasses, I can find the tool I need to find them. Oh god. Yeah.
I think
I
I
like
got...
my glasses too, Bird Wizard. I like my glasses a lot. They are very singular. I know it's like kind of in vogue now to have cat's eyes, but I've had them for a very long time, and don't intend to stop having them.
I got big old granny glasses. I'm leaning into the granny glasses.
Yeah.
They're really, really big, and that also means they don't hide my makeup when I put it on.
Ah.
The bigger the frames and lenses, the more the area around your eye people can see and obscured. Then when I sit there and I put all that goddamn effort into my cat's eye liner, you can see it.
But yeah, aging, am I right? It'll happen to you.
Again, these are problems I've had since fourth grade. So this isn't aging. This is I maybe finally have money to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I got glasses at 12, but it turns out I probably should have had them for a long time. But
Yep.
shitty
Same.
parents.
I think I've related how I got glasses, but I remember it really. I think it embarrassed my parents that I was very late in getting them. And Matt has talked about where he went to school. He got vision tested, I think. Matt,
Yeah.
is that what happened? You got vision tested, and they basically sent you home with a note to your parent saying your kid's blind, fix
That's what
it.
happened to me, yeah. But like, uh, no, I'm so sorry. I remember what happened with me.
Hmm.
I got one of those when I was little, when I was slightly younger, and I didn't know what it meant. And I found out later, my dad just said, "We're not going to do anything about this."
No.
And then later, um, I was moving closer and closer to, like, to the front to see, and the teacher's like, "You squint a lot," and I was like, "Yeah." And
Hmm.
then it was like she basically like sent a nurse's note home, and at that point I knew, oh yeah, I should tell all my parents about this.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
suddenly Amanda had glasses.
that is almost identical to what happened to me, where, my parents and my dad is a fucking doctor, so you'd think, and my aunt is a fucking ophthalmologist, so you'd think, but no, you know. I went to school, I was in middle school, and I realized at some point if I squinted, I could see better. And so I was sitting in like the back of the classroom reading the chalkboard and squinting. And the teacher, who had a reputation for being a huge bitch, saw me and went, "I know that look, wear your glasses." And I was like very surprised because I just went, "I don't wear glasses." And she had intended on doing this call out in front of the class, But I like she could tell from the look on my face, I was really like this was a question I did not have an answer for. Like, how many coconuts can an African swallow carry? Level question. Like, what? And I was just like, I don't wear glasses. And she stopped and she was really quiet for like 2 or 3 seconds. And then she turned back to the chalkboard and kept writing. And I was like, oh, cool. The bitchy teacher didn't fucking go in on me. How nice. But then my parents got a call like the next day, and I had an ophthalmologist appointment with my aunts like that weekend, and then I had glasses like 3 days later. So they reacted very quickly. So I have to wonder what was said to them on the phone. I think they were embarrassed. I think that probably what happened, because I went to a mostly white school, and this specific teacher was white. I went to a mostly white school, and the teacher was white, and I was one of like maybe, I don't even know, like 10 black families in that school. And I'm sure there was probably, because again, this was like 90s. There was sort of this like, oh, all these brown people not taking care of their children. Like that thing was kind of like hovering over the conversation because it happened that fast.
No, I'm just blind. There was no drama. It's just you're blind. Fix it.
Yeah.
Nah, my dad was a sports will fix all the children's problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like, including, you don't get Tylenol for headaches. Go outside. That'll fix it.
Wow. That's stupid.
Yes, it
That's
was.
extremely fucking stupid. Yeah, we got screened for scoliosis in my school, but I think that was it. No, scoliosis and obesity. That's what we got screened for in my school.
I got screened for a lot, but I just don't remember most of it.
We did not get optical screenings, which is
We
interesting.
got optical screening. We had this like yearly obstacle course that would measure shit.
Hmm.
Um, we had a bunch of different things. I just don't remember all of them. Oh, one of the schools I went to actually would have a shoe fitting day where they'd figure out your actual foot
Oh.
size to make sure you were getting the right size shoes at home.
Oh, wow. That is brand new information.
Um, yeah. I mean, again, that was one school. It might have just been that district had certain policies. Yeah, hearing tests. Hearing tests. We
We
did
did
hearing
not do
tests.
hearing tests.
Yeah, we did a lot of different tests. It just depended. Again, I was in a different school. Like every 2 years, I swapped schools.
Uh-huh.
So some of this might have just been this school district had this one program. Yeah, colorblind tests.
I don't
Um,
recall a colorblind test.
I had a lot. I think every school I went to had a hearing test. That only that one school had the. This is the day where we measure everyone's feet to make sure
Mhm.
your parents actually know what your shoe sizes
And if I
are.
could if I could take a moment, everyone, if I take a moment just to the side, make sure it's like we all make fun of like when mom and dad are all like, okay, how do your toes feel? Okay, walk a little bit. How does it feel? How's it feel in the heel? How's it feel in your big toe? Can you wiggle your toes? Wiggle
What
your
are you
toes.
talking about?
When your parents are fitting your shoes, when you're like at the Foot Locker and they make you put the new pair of shoes on, and they basically make you run through this gauntlet of
I don't
wiggle
know
your
what you're
toes,
talking
walk
about.
comfortable. Well, a lot of people's
Amanda's
parents
parents didn't care about her.
a lot of people's parents do this.
Okay. I was
Don't
like
wear
confused for a
shoes.
second.
Don't wear shoes where you put them on and you feel pressure on like your nail bed of like your little toe or your big toe or something. Be like, that's fine. Like don't buy those shoes and wear those shoes. You will fuck your feet up literally forever.
My feet are super wide. So I have never not had a shoe problem. I now have to get custom sneakers because my feet are too wide.
Oh.
I remember.
Never mind. That's sad. I'm not saying that.
Miss Elmir, when you're saying I failed the scoliosis test, I have lordosis. To this day, I have lordosis. I'm deformed. And I remember specifically being taken in to the pediatrician. And the pediatrician ran me through a bunch of little tests and then asked my mom to come in after she ran me through all the tests. And she said, okay, bend over and touch your toes. And I bent over and touched my toes. And the pediatrician pointing at my back. And I'm like, okay, see this? This is called et cetera, et cetera. And then she went on this big, long thing of what was wrong with my back, how to fix it, and who she was going to give us a referral to help them fix my back. My mom took all that information and never did shit with it. So I am deformed to this day. She just could not be fucking bothered.
Oh, I definitely told y'all about the when we thought I had scoliosis or some kind of back problem in high school.
Tell it again.
Sorry, I'm a little goofy. So
I wonder why that might be, Amanda.
Fuck off! Fuck off! Go eat a messy sandwich and get
I
slop
will
all
eat a
over your lap.
I'll
Just
juice
dribble.
that sandwich all over.
Dribble.
Do it. It'll be nasty.
Dribble coleslaw right between your legs. Ew,
Hot
nasty.
coleslaw, just fucking fire hosed everywhere.
Anyway, so as many people know, I had a breast reduction. My boobs got way too big to be like sustainable with life, incompatible with life.
Incompatible with life titties.
Yes, and it happened very early. I'm just saying, it happened very early on, and it caused a lot of high school problems. And one of them was after different tests, the school was like, "Hey, you probably need to take her to the doctor to get it looked at. She's got serious back issues." And then the doctor just like shrugged, and was like, "Her boobs are just really big." And my parents were like, "What do you mean?" Like, I'm just telling you, that's the reason. That's the reason her back's fucked up. You just gotta get her good bras.
Yep.
And that was a problem that didn't get fixed until I was an adult. And now they're still here, but they're mostly gone. They will only take them so small. There's apparently a limit, and they will only take them so small. So I was just like, no, take them all. Just all of it.
And they went, no.
Take it and go. I don't want any of it. And they're like, no, we have to leave a little.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to appreciate that. That's the thing that always pisses me off sometimes. It's like,
Very
no, we know
paternal.
better. And we know if we take them too small, you will regret it.
Yeah,
Like, I will
they
not
only
regret
will-
it.
They will only take them off if you're trans or if you have a cancer risk.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need a diagnosis, basically.
Yeah, so they will just, like, outright, like, there's also, apparently, if you get them too small and you try to preserve, like, function, you can only go so small or something, but it's like, I don't care about, no, just take it all out. And they're like, no, later in life you'll regret it, and you'll want to do this, and you'll want to do that, and you'll probably still want to breastfeed, and you'll probably still want to look good in dresses, and I was like, no, this is all very stupid, take them, and they didn't, but I'm better than where I was with my Franken tits.
Oh my god. But yeah.
They're good. They're fine. I'll live. I don't have to sit 2 feet away from a dining table anymore.
Titties, they're tolerable.
If you like them, they're great.
I've always been very lukewarm on mine. It's like, yeah, they're there. Who cares?
Same.
Yeah.
Ravioli, no! Get out of the trash.
It's like
They get so sweaty underneath.
it's like asking me, how do you feel about your left thumbnail? It's like, it's definitely there. It certainly exists. There it is. I have no strong feelings.
Da, da, da.
Um,
Whenever I have friends who either have a reduction or top surgery, my question is always, so for how long were you convinced that your nipples were just gonna fall right off?
Yeah,
And usually
I've
there's an
seen
answer
them.
like, oh yeah, for like 2 days I was convinced.
Yeah,
They
for the
just
people
like
who keep their
slide off.
nipples. For people who keep their nipples, like sometimes they just straight up like fucking cut them off during the
Yeah,
surgery and like put them on wet gauze.
yeah.
And then they like do whatever they're doing to you and then they just sew them back into place.
And the thing is, a
And
lot of the stitches are internal, so you don't even see what's holding them on. So in your head, you're just staring and going like, nothing is holding that on. Oh my god, it's gonna fall off. Oh my
it looks like a
god.
giant scab. Yeah. And you're just like, well, that's it.
Yeah, that's my
Goodbye,
favorite question to
nipple.
ask because it's just like everyone has usually unanswered. Like, oh yeah, oh, just for like 30 minutes, and some people are like, oh yeah, for the first week, I was like, we have to go back. We have
And
to
that's
go
why
back.
when they give you like a breast reduction or top surgery or whatever, they're always telling you, okay, just so you know, we have to tell you this before we give you the surgery, and you have to say you're okay with it. If you do this, you will not breastfeed. And it's not just because they're taking away like fat tissue. That's not why. It's because they literally sever the nipple. And
that
then
is not universal.
it is okay. It's very likely you cannot breastfeed because all your milk ducts are. I mean, maybe it'll heal back, but don't
Yeah.
count on it.
Yeah, they basically what I was told was like your odds aren't. It could still happen. Don't count on it, but it can still happen, and that's actually why they wouldn't take a certain amount of like material out because they wanted to preserve that function. I was sitting there like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
I'm okay. Take it.
Yeah.
Take it. Give it to someone else.
Yeah, the tits do have a practical function, so you know their practical function can be interrupted by getting in there with a chainsaw.
Yeah, chainsaw me. That is not a public invitation. That's in retrospect at a doctor. Don't you get
Chainsaw me. I'll
ideas?
just get you a T-shirt.
No. No.
But yeah,
There's chili in my cabinet.
chili does sound nice.
I
If
wish we
only
could donate them. I have so many friends who want them. I wish I could just be like, slop, slop, here you go.
Mhm.
Enjoy.
Yeah, if there was a drop box, that'd be nice.
If only.
Just put it in a jar of alcohol like a preserved lizard at the museum. Put them in the drop box. Just be like, leave a post-it on it. It's like, please give him a good home.
Like a foundling baby basket.
Yeah, they very well be. Yeah, someone like there's a mansion. There's a mansion in the English countryside. And it's winter, and the wind is howling, and the snow is coming down in buckets, and you hear somebody knock on the door with a big, heavy brass door knocker, and you know, Japes, your butler, heads out there, and he opens the door into the blackness and the wind, and he looks around, and hello! Japes calls into the darkness, and he looks left, and he looks right, and he sees no one, just the trees and the moon and the moor, and then he looks down, and he sees the wicker basket with the woolen blanket, and it's wrapped around a pair of giant tits.
And the letter. And a letter is tucked between the boobs.
The letter is nestled between the titties like a tip at a strip club. And when Japes picks it up and he reads it, it's like, please take care of these unwanted titties. They are double D's and very bouncy. Give them a good home.
Oh, Christ.
And Japes just gently slips them into his vest and closes the door. And you're like, who is at the door, Japes? And he turns around and his tits just bounce. And he goes, no one, Mum. No one of import. He jostles his new titties.
No, nobody clip this. Don't nobody clip this.
I'm painting a beautiful word picture and going completely unappreciated.
No, it's appreciated. I just
Oh,
really
no
want
lie,
chili
share
right
with you
now.
people.
No. If I weren't already drooling thinking about chili, I would have like had a much stronger reaction.
You would have thought about
But
Japes,
do
the
not get
double
me
D
wrong.
butler.
I was on that mind journey with you. I was there.
Jape's going to Amazon and feverishly ordering all the pasties with sequins and tassels he's always dreamed of. I love you too, Matt.
Oh, Christ.
Jape showing up for dinner service and, I seem to have forgotten my shirt. Just fucking bright
The
red
giant
tassels.
tits are like the secret of the manor.
He has tucked them into his suit
There are
coat,
secret hallways
straining at the buttons.
just for the tits.
Jape's all bouncy bouncy. A dream is a wish your heart makes. My heart has wished for big, juicy titties. And finally, it truly is Christmas. Christmas for old Japes.
You know, she'll just keep going. She'll just keep going, and I'm not in a state of mind to stop
Speaking
her.
about a happy
Unfortunately,
butler who finally has tits. What's wrong with you?
I am under the influence, and I'm not capable of stopping her. Kel, this responsibility lies with you.
I'm sorry. I took allergy medicine.
Oh
Before we
no!
started.
Oh,
I'm in any position to stop
Spike
me.
is control. No! None of us have
it's
our
5
wits.
minutes. 5 minutes to the end of the show. We
Has
can end
everyone
early.
fucking faved this stream yet? I deserve a fave. Fucking like
Fave a
it.
stream?
No.
Like and subscribe.
no.
Like and subscribe right now. I deserve it.
Nope.
No, don't listen to her.
Don't
Fave
encourage
it.
her.
Fave
This
it.
is
encourage me.
nonsense.
Fave
Fucking
it
encourage
on
me.
your favorite platform.
I need encouragement. This needs to keep going. Unless you don't want to hear about Japes ever again.
I'll hear about
I would
Japes.
love to never hear about Japes ever again.
Whatever, you fucking love Japes.
See, okay, Spike, I'm kind of fucked up because like in the oh god, no, you've put a thought in my head. So there's a character in the game I play, Warframe, who's like an upcoming character, and he is a butler. Sort of. Well, he's more of an assistant, but he's clearly modeled to look like a butler. And I'm just thinking about him with giant tits now.
Either Tails is
I'm just-
talking about Scrooge with giant tits.
I'm just thinking
whipping
about
open that
Lloyd
bedroom
Prime
window on
with giant
Christmas morning.
knockers, and it's honestly not a bad look.
Fucking luscious, glistening titties just flopping right out of Scrooge's bed shirt. He's just going, you boy, what cup size is this? Oh, I'm sorry that the Chromebook is being useless. We'll try and get you a new one, babe.
Ravioli, my love, please don't chew on my cable.
Jason is adopted sweater kittens. I will publish that graphic novel right now.
He
It'll
has
sell
to
like
keep them a
50,000
secret.
copies, and Kel and Amanda and I will
You
just
know,
sitting here looking at
you
each other.
know what is a shame that no one has made a graphic novel of?
What?
No one has made a graphic novel about some mob hitman trying to kill Whitey Bulger and titled it Kill Whitey. That's a shame that doesn't exist. I'm not the person to write it, but I would like to mentally have it come into existence.
Put that energy out there. Put
Yes,
that energy
put
out
that
there.
energy. This secret is real. Put that energy into the fucking universe.
So yeah, so if you are someone who likes gangster fiction, that's a free idea. Just have it be about trying to kill Whitey Bulger. Title it Kill Whitey. And
make sure it gets banned in multiple school districts.
Yeah, because people won't know what the fuck it's actually about. Because their knee-jerk reaction will be that it's about hating being white, and then someone can be like, but did you read it?
And they'll be like, I was offended, it was terrible and hateful. Really? What
And they're
part
like,
did you
no,
least?
it's about killing Whitey Bulger, who is a horrible mobster that
Yeah.
Ravioli, you're such a sweetie.
Oh. Well, everybody, it is 9:59.
I can go eat chili.
Amanda can go eat chili. And I am going to go ahead and start playing us off, if that's cool with everybody. There we go. All right, everybody, we have a crowd fund going.
Was this a speak now, forever hold your peace moment?
Shit, yeah, and you missed it.
Damn,
Everybody,
fuck.
if you are so inclined at this moment as we speak we being Iron Circus, are running a crowdfund on BackerKit for Indigenerds, Tales from Modern Indigenous Life. It is an all Indigenous anthology collecting the work of over a dozen artists and writers, talking about everything from gaming to social media to pirate radio to garage bands to Star Trek to D&D to misconnections and drama at the powwow. It's about modern indigenous culture, which is growing and vibrant and very much alive. Update your thinking and see what Indigenerds is all about. It is only $20 and it funded today. And if you would like to sort of do more, like back it more generously than just buying the $20 book, we also have add-ons like The Woman in the Woods and Other North American Stories, which is a 4 kids companion to Indigenerds that covers a lot of North American indigenous folklore. And we have just added our pin collection, and there are all kinds of cool pins that are available, including my personal favorite, the fucking Vaporwave Eagle, which is just a beautiful pair of words I would have never thought to put together. And the pins are $15, and each you can
That's the beauty of Indigenerds is
yeah,
it gives you vaporwave eagles.
Vaporwave Eagles. And yeah, so please check us out. We're on BackerKit.
It is the link is pinned in the chat.
Link is pinned in the chat. Your support would be much appreciated. As for me, I'm Spike. What's up? I run Iron Circus Comics and Iron Circus Animation.
Time limit.
Please watch Lackadaisy on YouTube, and please read Lackadaisy the comic at lackadaisy.com. Also, buy Iron Circus comics, available on Amazon, ironcircus.com, and in retail stores. We specialize in the free, strange, and amazing. I make a web comic called Blacada, which is sort of kind of about the failure of revolution in a not Russian society populated by hairy elf people who kill each other. It hasn't updated in ages, but hopefully I'll change that soon, because I recently gave the URL to someone I am in awe of and deeply respect, and now I will feel bad if I don't get at least a page a week up. So go ahead and read that at blickada.com. That doesn't mean anything. It used to, but it doesn't. I am also on Pillow Fort, which is where I keep Blickada, and co-host, and that's Iron Spike, all one word. I am on Blue Sky, Iron Spike, all one word. Thank you.
I make comics about gay werewolves in the future. You can read them at killmcdonald.com. I hate social media. It's horrible. I burn it down. Stop it. So just subscribe to my newsletter. I am on the social medias, and they're all linked on my website. So just get them from there. There's too many.
I'm Amanda Lafrene. My cat is trying to get behind my computer.
You're a terrible mother. A terrible mother.
How dare you? Anyway, I'm Amanda Lath on co-host. My pinned post. My pinned post links to all my stuff from social media to webcomics and stores. So there's that. I'm gonna go eat chili.
Thank you, everyone.